Okay, so my league games have wrapped up. This is my game versus Drew Wise, where I was Axis, and it turned out well. I was using this strategy. I've got lots of Japan tanks and air. I haven't really played this strategy too often. I just thought it was interesting to try, and I really had some pretty good success with it. Even though he had attack power advantage and income advantage a lot of time, once I got a lock of Japan in here of tanks and fighters where they could easily go to Berlin or Italy or even France, where the Japan could go reinforcing those. It really actually kind of freed up Germany's movement a little bit more than normal. So I was able to flow these chunks of infantry up here when he started dumping in here. Now, this looks a lot less because he went ahead and just took a shot at Karelia and gave it up here. We were doing pretty good. We had a good stack there, and as you can see, we had set it up. Previous turn, I got a Kaza stack. He took a shot at it with Russia, and then on German's turn, I was able to get a mini stack on West Russia to open the door for the 4 tanks and all my fighters, and there were my remainders, and so there's maybe a chance he could have still got in there. He still had I want to say he had a 15 point attack power advantage technically, and I never did get down into Africa or anything. It's just a strategy. I was really able to put a block. First step one of this strategy was to cut off the med, so he never even got into the med. He immediately, because of my Japan air superiority getting in here with the German, and I get my German bomber, and back then I had all my fighters, it cut him off, and he immediately shifted up into the Finland Shuck, and by the time you get to Finland Shuck, it really would have been hard to transition back to the Med Shuck. And so once he got to the Finland Shuck, I was able to start then matching him and shoving my infantry up here, and grew this number up to something pretty big. I forget what the final number was, but anyways, we were driving these units up here, and so I was able to keep it blockade even because he had to split forces. That's the hard thing for the Allies when you get stuck in just a Finland Shuck. You've got 2 forces versus 1, and a 1-2 punch is much weaker than just 1 big punch. And so that's where he got stuck, was having 2 medium-large size armies versus my 1 large army, and I was able to, with less units, hold it there, and less technical overall attack power. I was able to hold right here because of my strong defensive power, which does not show up in that war report. And so we were able to blockade that enough so he couldn't get reinforcements into Moscow, and eventually got a big enough move where we could move Japan in so that the reinforcements stopped from this side. He was getting some of them in there, as you can see. Some of the UK got in there, but ultimately we then got both sets of his reinforcements shut off, and so now it was just going to be a matter of time for me to push enough Japan in here to finish off Moscow. So got a victory in that game. And our other game was Imre, which we got us a victory in this game as well. I actually made a goof and then got a Dice Gods moment to kind of finish it off. I don't think it really made a big difference, but I didn't realize that last time I left him a shot on my Season 34 fleet. Again, I don't think it would have made much difference. I still had the stack here in India, because I ended up moving 2 guys over with my transport that lived, but I didn't move 2 I had over here, so I would have had the same defensive stack here, so he would have still been attacking into the same thing, which, as you can see, Germany failed to take India. And so that got us the win here. So this was a pretty aggressive round 11 KJF victory. It was an interesting, if I've been recording, it was an interesting battle that we went back and forth to Manchuria. I just got there 1 turn faster than he could get back to saving it, and so it got me a factory there, and that balanced out the fact that I had my DEI under UK here. So another fantastic game with Imre. He's a superb, just on the board live player. So I'm very happy to pull this one out. And so at the end of the day, that wrapped up my league season finally, so I can rest and breathe. Here's how league ended up going. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. So here was the Generals. It was my goal to make it to the Generals after this season in league. I needed to finish first or second in the Colonels here, and so here's my win-losses. I guess I had 3 wins as Allies and 2 wins as Axis. I went 5-5 split. Ended up with 10 points, tying with Regal Beagle. I had the tiebreaker on Regal Beagle because I beat him twice because of horrendous dice that he had. I just felt bad for him. The 2 games weren't even fair games, so those were give me points. Kind of game where a high silver player could have knocked off a platinum player kind of dice game. So a little unfair, but anyways, it got me the 2nd place. So if I was continuing league, I'd be moving up to Generals, which would have been just awesome because I would have gotten my replay versus Matt's. As you guys have seen, Matt's and I are, I don't know, we're about 50-50 overall if you count every time we've played each other. Would have been fun. Terrence up here. Well, I don't know if Terrence is going to be staying up here, but the top 3 of these guys would stay up here, plus the top player down here, probably looks like General Jippy, maybe Seekin. Oh, nope, they're both done. So General Jippy looks like General Jippy, who's just been tearing it up. And I believe he finished at the top or near the top of the ranked board. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyways, so it would have been some great players. But as I've been saying, it's time for me to take a break. Football season, for those that don't know, I actually officiate high school football games. And so my time gets even smaller and work is just killing me. So I'm going to be backing off. I'm going to be just playing my 2 club games, my 1v1, 1 team game. I'll be showing some of that. And then I'm also going to play probably like 1 friendly game. There's several players that that have asked about playing a game, and I think I'm just going to play 1 friendly game. When I say friendly, I still play competitively. So if any of you guys are on the Discord and you're interested in playing a friendly with me, just shoot me a message. I'll put you on the queue list. I know a couple people I got lined up right now, but I definitely will be open to getting other people on the list. So be on the lookout. Depending if they're interested in me recording the friendlies, I may record some of the friendlies. If not, I'll be recording the club games, starting with round 2 at the 1st of September. All right. Until later.